Human Resources and Administration. We also have some of our board members here tonight, Adam Fisher, one of our trustees, Anthony Greco, our board president, and Laura Reich, one of our trustees as well. So thank you all for being here tonight. This is our first of 3 budget forums that we'll be doing. This one will just be a general overview of the budget. We'll kind of review some of our new initiatives and then some of the challenges in the budget this year. And then we'll follow that up with 2 additional forums. The next one, we're going to focus on capital projects. So we'll give you an overview of some of the current capital projects that we have going on, as well as some of the projects that we have planned for next year. As we'll take a look at our capital reserve fund and some projects we have planned out of that, as well as a transfer to capital in the budget as well. And then our final budget forum, which will be on Monday, March 30th, will be for focus on personnel. We'll review all the staffing levels at each one of our buildings and take a look at any new program that needs some additional staffing as well. All right, so those will be our 3 forums. And these are our goals for the budget. Obviously, we always look to maintain all of our outstanding existing programs and look for ways to enhance them as we go through the budget process. We're looking to adopt a new literacy program at our elementary level, so that's part of this budget cycle as well. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. We're going to continue our capital improvements. As I said, we'll focus on that at our next budget meeting. And then all of the new elective offerings, we'll touch on some of that tonight as well. And then continue to expand our research program, our science research program at Wantagh High School. We'll be in our 4th year of implementation next year, and it's really going well. So we wanted to highlight that as well. Positive financial news, a couple of things. We continue to receive really clean external audits, and always positive to see that. Really continued stable condition of the district. Reserves are in good shape, and we continue to do positive work in that area as well. And then we just highlighted here too our fiscal stress score. You can see received a clean designation, 0 designation. That's what you want. You want to see the one time you want to see zeros. That's here. So that's for this. You can see a solid report as well. Here's where we currently are. We're working through the budget process right now. So just to kind of highlight that for you, we are. We start the process back in the fall as we meet with all the budget managers for each building and department. We kind of build our budget from there. So our target, you can see, is our tax levy limit. We anticipate being at 3.48%. I'll speak to that in a little bit in terms of why that cap is where it is this year. And we still have some work to do to get there. Our budget right now still has, on the expenditure side, is still a couple $1 million higher than that. We're currently in the process of working through that, and we will be below the cap, over the next several weeks as we get ready to adopt a budget in April. I'm going to turn it over to Caroline Winans for a minute. She's going to talk about some of our outstanding academic achievements that we wanted to highlight as well. So, Caroline.
All right, good evening, everybody. So we're going to start with the profile of the class of 2025. If any of the information that is up here, if you want some additional information, you can always find the entire profile on the school website, just by going to the high school website. This is the information that we send to our colleges as the students are going through the admissions process. We are happy to say that 95% of the class of 2025 took at least 1 college-level course. 91% took at least 2 college-level courses. 89% of the students in the class of 2025 took at least 1 advancement placement course. 31 students earned an AP capstone diploma. 71 students earned AP Scholar or higher. 15% earned a Regents diploma with advanced designation. 53% earned a Regents diploma with advanced designation. The top one is with honors. And 30% of the class earned a Regents diploma. 88% of the students will attend a 4-year college. 4.2% will go on to a 2-year college, and 3.8 sought employment, with 1.9 of our students entering the military. Continuing on with our advanced placement courses, it's not just our seniors that are taking on these advanced level courses. We had 694 advanced placement exams taken from freshmen all the way up to our senior classes. In the following subjects, 100% of students scored a 3 or higher, earning 100%. And that would be biology, English lit, seminar, Italian, pre-calculus, art, design 2D. So basically what happens is the children take this course and they basically aced it. And all of the students that took that course did a really good job. So we really are very proud of their performances, one of which was a brand new course that we were happy to introduce last year. The average score on all AP exams in 2025 was 3.6, and 85% of all scores were 3 or higher. So those students who are taking these college level courses are thriving, and we're very, very proud of their accomplishments. However, we also want to make sure that students are exploring their interests in hands-on, minds-on activities. So we have made the effort to expand our elective-based programs in both the high school and middle school levels. Another important fact that Dr. Gazzone always shares at curriculum night is what happens after the students leave. And we have found that 95% of our students return for a second year of college, which is way above the national average at 78%. And 80% of our students complete a degree in 6 years. So it's not just that we're preparing them for the college application process, we really are preparing them to succeed at the college level. We're happy to share with you our new course offerings. We have potential to expand our UPK program, adoption of our enhanced literacy program, K-5. We have our literacy committee that has been working all year long to select a program that will best suit the needs of our students. Special education, we're continuing to expand the LEAPS and ACE programs. In the high school and middle school electives, grades 6 and 7, family and consumer science classes will include units on financial literacy to meet the commissioner's regulation that's associated with the Portrait of the Graduate. We're going to continue to expand our Science Research Academy, which we're extremely proud of because our seniors next year will be able to participate in the national and international highest levels of competition. And we are working to expand our very successful broadcasting and theater programs.
For an increase in the per pupil numbers. So we're waiting to see if that's going to be what the final budget looks like, the final budget proposal. But right now, we have the potential to add a 9th section. So once we see that that's finalized, we'll potentially be able to add that, which will increase our offering to over 160 students, which is great. You can see where we started out just 5 years ago with 4 classes and 64 students, and we've been able to really continually expand that program. Where hopefully if we continue that trend, we'll be able to offer something for everybody that would like a UPK placement. So that's outstanding. Also, one of the things I wanted to bring to everyone's attention as well, one of the other propositions that will be on the ballot in May is a proposition to sell the 1865 Beach Street property. That property is the original schoolhouse here in Wantagh. For decades, that was a property that was leased out to a nursery school since about 1980, and that lease has expired, and the building is in need of a lot of worth of work that needs to be done to it, and isn't really appropriate for our UPK program. Doesn't where we landed. We have a potential buyer. We're in kind of a due diligence period right now with the contract with the buyer as they kind of exploring the finalizing that sale. If all that goes well, the intention would be to put that property up for sale and have the voters approve that. The purchase price would be $1.1 million, and the property is, once the district no longer owns that property and it's sold privately, it's zoned residentially. And we believe the buyer has expressed that they would like to build 2 homes there. That would be what they would to use the land for. So take down the existing structure and build 2 new homes. So that's what it looks like. We put together this FAQ that'll be posted on our district website, and will go out as well for anybody that has any questions about it. One of the questions that we received that I touched upon earlier was really about the use for potentially for a UPK site. As I said, just really not appropriate for that purpose, and also the additional cost of maintaining that building and maintaining a program there, security, nurse, cafeteria services, all those kinds of things that would be needed. And our goal is really to have our UPK programs in our existing schools and get to a point where we can have our students go to their home district for UPK, their home school for UPK. So that's what we're working towards, and on the district website. I'll turn it over to Mr. Strone. He'll walk you through.
This is the broken record portion of the presentation. I feel like it's the same drivers and same stuff every year. But just to start off with our sort of fund balance and reserve condition, these are all monies that are set aside for all of the various things that are listed here, and they're self-explanatory, except for maybe the one that says employee benefit accrued liability reserve. That money is used to pay for contractual payment of unused sick leave when people retire. Otherwise, all of the rest of them, those monies are used solely to pay for expenses related to the items that you see there: workers' comp, unemployment, retirement contributions, and the like. So we ended last year with $16 million. Right now, it's a projection of $18.9 million, but that's just a projection. That'll be finalized in a couple of months as we get closer to the end of the year. These are the major drivers for this year. I think it really is the same items year after year. You can see the dollar amounts. Obviously, the total just of these items alone are far greater than even what the tax cap would allow us to raise. But these are right now the expenditures that are in next year's budget that we have to deal with. I know Mr. McNamara said he would say kind of why the tax cap was around that 3.4, this line right here. Right, so the last few years we've been around 2.5 to maybe 2 3/4, 2.8 in terms of a tax cap. The debt service that is now being added on to make those payments for the bond work that's well underway, that was approved in 2022, is an additional $706,000 in next year's budget. Ultimately, that will get offset with some additional building aid, which in theory in out years lowers our cap a little bit. But right now, on a roughly $70 million tax levy, that $700,000 is about 1%. Right, so from 3.4, figure we were somewhere in the 2.5% range, other than the debt service. So if you go back to the slide with the drivers, how do we do all of that, in a tax cap era where we put a formula together that says you can raise X? What does that look like when you have expenses that far exceed that cap? So just to start, this chart just shows what the school district's tax levy increases have been as compared to inflation for the last, how many years did we do? Since 2013, which is when the tax cap started. And over that period of time, the orange line is us, so you can see we've been, in some cases, well below, in some cases kind of right on par with what inflation has been. But over that period of time, the tax levy in Wantagh has been 11% below what inflation was. And of course, inflation is driving a lot of those other larger expenditures. One of the largest ones, of course, is health insurance. We say that every year, and that is true again this year, back from where they started in 1996. To explain, so the blue bars are the increase in the expense, right? This is the school district's actual expense. It's what we paid. So it was $8 million in 16-17. It's 14.5 projected to be for next year. So really, this is the most important information, right? 78% increase over that period of time. Even on an average of 8% a year, when we have allowable tax levy increases of 2, 2.5, 3.4, that's more than double those, right? So the yellow line, again, is CPI, just showing what inflation was doing. The red line is the school district tax levy over that period of time. The blue bar, like I said, is actual dollars. And the green line is the percent change from year to year in that health insurance. So it swings wildly. Could be up 2% one year, could go down to 3% another, and up 10. Even though it looks like it's dipping down, that means it went from a 10% increase to only a 5% increase, right? So that's what we attempt to budget, against, is that kind of craziness. Transportation is another one. Over time, doubled in 10 years, right? Started at 2.8 10 years ago. and we're at 5.5. The blue in this one is a little more level. I mean, it does go up year after year, but if you'll notice between the last two blue, 26, 27, we're getting basically clobbered on that one. A lot of that increase, over about $1 million, $1.5 million, is just from this year going into next year. Why? Because you have to do an RFP for transportation every 5 years, and we're due to do one for 26, 27. They're dealing with electric bus mandates, insurance, lack of drivers, which drives up the rate that they pay drivers to drive the buses. All of that is now coming in the next 5-year contract, of which 26, 27 will be year one. The red and the yellow lines don't change. They're spread out a little bit based on the increases in the other expenses. But again, the green line is just as nuts as the health insurance line was. I only noted the COVID year in here because when school was closed, there was no need for school buses, right? So that's kind of an artificial drop. But that's transportation. And like I said, this year is a huge driver in our budget. General liability insurance. Again, same chart, same idea. Blue is the actual expenses. The red and yellow are the same. That's us and inflation. And green is how the insurance actual expenses change year over year. Again, during COVID, and if it happened to you, I think it happened to me. You remember they were giving refunds for like your car insurance for a couple of months because nobody was on the road. Same thing happened in there. So we got some rebates and some credits to our insurance. So it's an artificial dip. But the last 4 years, that's a pretty steep climb, even on the actual expenditures. Why? Some of it is experience. We've had a couple of claims. Our insurer is dealing with all of the Child Victim Act claims that, the window was open back when, I think it was right around COVID, actually. So they were dealing with those for other districts. Property values, same like on your house. Sometimes your taxes go up just because your house is worth more, and that's what it's based on, right? So as we improve our buildings, as we add things, the value of the district's property goes up, the insurance premium goes up. So again, another substantial increase, right? 400,000 to 855. So again, another 100% increase over 10 years, so 10% a year. This one was kind of my favorite, and again, we manage other expenditures, right? So sometimes things do go down, right? So like, for example, this year, we always put the positive drivers on there, meaning the ones that are going up. TRS next year is going down about 300,000 or 400,000. So there are always offsets to this stuff. So that's people retire. That's how we manage all of this stuff. But again, the red and the yellow are the same. They haven't changed at all. But we put our budgets together year after year after year, even though we sound like a broken record when we come in here, against this craziness, right? So there's no rhyme, reason, ability to predict, plan. We just do the best that we can with the tools that we do have. And then we end up here like we do every year, and we just kind of plod along. So again, it's more, a picture is worth 1,000 words in terms of trying to build a budget against all of this craziness, but that's what we do every year. And we're doing the same thing again this year with some of those fairly substantial drivers. I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, so one of the data points that, we were talking about, just sharing with you as well, is how do we stack up against other similar sized districts in Nassau County? So these are the 10 districts that are most similar in size. The 5 smaller below us, 5 higher right above us, and where we stand in terms of per pupil expenditure when you just take the number of kids and you take our budget. And you see we're at the bottom right there is the $32,000 per student when you just do that math. And you can see where we stack up against everybody else in terms of the service and the product that we deliver, in terms of what that costs. So in terms of being efficient, and in terms of providing good quality for per dollar, you can see that we really work to achieve that each and every day. And then here's some of the other pieces of the budget that we always kind of do a wait and see as we look for the New York State aid picture to kind of firm up. Right now, everything is based on what the governor has proposed, and we expect probably this week to kind of see what the legislature is looking to do as well. But you can see where we kind of have a minor adjustment in terms of our foundation aid of about $300,000 or so, and in our favor. for a total of $23 million for state aid. You can see that is just about a little bit less than a quarter of our budget. The rest is coming from the local taxpayer. So summary, our goals always are to maintain all of our outstanding existing programs. You can see that we're working to do that. We have on the ballot the 26-27 budget. We do anticipate a capital reserve expenditure, and then the Beach Street sale as well. And we'll talk a little bit more about the capital reserve next time we meet. And we sent out some information on budget focus groups and surveys. Please take some time to fill out a survey or join a focus group. Focus groups start next week. And the survey will be open until we adopt the budget. And we always look for that feedback as we're building the budget. All the resources, including tonight's presentation, the slides, and the budget documents as we develop them, will be posted on the district website. It's pretty thorough, all the information there, so please feel free to take a look at that and let us know if you have any questions. And as I said, our next meeting will be on March 23rd, and we'll focus on the capital projects. Budget vote information will be on May 19th. It'll take place at all 3 of our elementary buildings. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. on those days. And we'll turn it over for any questions. No? We're that good? All right. So thank you for attending tonight, and we'll see you at the next one.